Greetings from Bangkok, Thailand, and welcome to 30 Minutes Promoting Unity and Diversity with Wani Angerer in Moving Cultures. We are very excited and happy to be here on this week of the Earth's celebration with a guest who is passionate about the conservation of the oceans and nature. Our guest, 242, comes from the United States, but she is also half Honduran, and her name is Jordan Santomango. So let's welcome her to this conversation. Hello, Jordan, how are you?
Hi, I'm really good today. How are you?
Very happy to have you with us this evening in the United States and morning hours in Bangkok. So
Yes.
Jordan, tell us, who are you?
Well, my name is Jordan. I'm 17, and my plan in college is to be a marine biologist. I've gone to Honduras, to the Roatan Marine Park, and learned all about like what they do there. And I just wanted that was where my passion for marine biology started. So.
Yes, I know that you, since very early age, are very connected to nature. You like to walk on the forest, and you also relate your artistic passions because you're also a painter and a creative person. It's always topics related to Mother Nature. What can you tell us about that?
Well, I used to live in Colorado, and so I was just all around Mother Nature and like the mountains, and so we always went hiking, and like that was where my passion for nature started as well. And then going down to Honduras and learning about like all the marine life and even like snorkeling down there, I got to see like all the reefs there, and it's just kind of looking at it kind of made me realize how damaged they are because they're supposed to be very colorful and like very vibrant, but the reefs down there were just white and plain and beige. And so I realized that like pollution that like that humans are causing like are really taking like a toll on the reefs.
Yeah, and how was that feeling when you realized and also understood that we are the ones who are damaging the environment?
I felt really guilty about it, definitely. Even though like I try my best, like no, like not to pollute and using very minimal plastic things, but I still had that sense of guilt in me because it was just one of those things that like even my like population is causing this, and it's damaging, like it's destroying the reefs and it's killing fish and like all other species that are in the ocean. And so I just wanted to help, like I want to help as much as I can to like build it back up.
So one of your biggest aspiration is also to live in the coast of Honduras or any other part in the world where they are working in the protection of the oceans. As we were talking behind cameras, you know, we have here with us flip-flop figures from Ocean Soul. There is a project based in Kenya. They're actually cleaning the oceans and creating these beautiful sculptures out of the flip-flops they collect from there. What do you know about the impact of the flip-flops in the ocean? Is something that you're familiar with?
Yes, I am. Just because a lot of like the flip flops that are just like in the ocean, they can't deteriorate or like disintegrate. So they just end up just floating around. And then like when a storm comes, they end up on islands and then they get washed back out. So there's not really a time that they can like fully disintegrate and deteriorate and then like they're not existing anymore. So I know that like it creates a lot of pollution, and that's one of the main causes for pollution.
Yeah, and also, like you say, the flip-flops are migrating, you know, they're moving from one part of the world to the next, and because, like you say, they're not biodegradable, they're always there, and the only way that you can get rid of them is to pick them up and collect them, because
Mm-hmm.
definitely people is going to continue using flip-flops, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know, so
Yeah.
that's a reality. What will you recommend to the new generation, you know, about behavior and way of doing things that they can make the environment safer?
It's definitely just helping in any way you can. I know that recently, there's been like the Save the Turtles, and they've been doing like metal straws instead of plastic straws. So it's one of those things just trying to, whenever you're buying something like you're at the store or, you know, you're taking a sip from a plastic water bottle, it's one of those things that you just want to keep in your mind. Like, is this going to hurt the environment, or am I polluting the environment, or am I making positive change to the environment? And so it's definitely something that's still kind of new. And so I think that like the new generations are going to be able to take that into their own hands and make it even better than how we can do it right now.
Mm-hmm. You are only 17 years old and your passion for nature is very present. Colorado and Texas has completely different nature and environment. What can you tell us about those different states?
So in Colorado, we would always go skiing and hiking, and we were always outdoors. There's a lot of parks up in Colorado and wildlife, and just it's like you walk outside and you just feel like that the earth can just breathe. But down in Texas, it's very, at least in San Antonio, it's very city-like. There's not that many parks. You can't ski because there's no mountains. There's not very many parks or like areas that you could just hang around in and just like have fun. So it's definitely more city-like, and definitely like there's ranches and stuff, but that's still places that people live in, and that they're still like industrializing in those like in that land. And so in San Antonio and just in Texas and all that, it's completely different. Just not being able to have like the mountains that are just right next to you, and only
Mm-hmm.
45-minute drive, that the next like 45-minute drive is just a town in the middle of nowhere, and it's just flatlands and it's a desert. And so it's very hot and humid, and definitely in Colorado it's like nice and cool, and just like it snows up there, and in the summer it's like very relaxing. So
Jordan, um, how can we do better? Because like you say, it's a completely different environment to be in Colorado or to be in Texas. But I know there is possibilities to create a more friendly and natural environment. It's like, can people start reforestating? Can people create family gardens? What is it there available in order to make this earth more friendly and welcoming to people?
yeah, so actually, me and my mom have talked about this a lot, that we drive around and we see places that are just like filled with trees. And as much as we love trees and stuff, that it's always trees surrounding just a big like land, that it's just there's no trees there. So it's almost just like up, like it's blocking it in. And we always just think like, wow, like we could build a park there, that the city could do a different job and help out like even kids in my community. Like they love going to parks, but the thing is that there's not many parks around, so they don't have that opportunity to experience like how I experienced my childhood. And
Mm-hmm.
so they're not able to experience going to a park, or like being able to just hang out with their friends at a playground and like climb monkey bars or go down the
Mm-hmm.
slide. And so it's definitely like I wish that San Antonio would be able to expand their knowledge on parks and be able to
Mm-hmm.
have some more like hiking or like nature parks, and just like parks for the kids and stuff.
Yeah, and what about the possibility of creating like field trips out of the state or in the areas where people can be more in connection with nature? Is that possibility available?
Um, I think in like, since Texas is so big that it's like anywhere that's near the border would be like 4 to 10 hours away. So I definitely think that cities that are around like the borders of like Colorado and New Mexico, Oklahoma, and like Arkansas and Louisiana, that they definitely have a better access at going to a different state and seeing like the true like site of like nature. Because I know in Eastern Texas they have a lot more trees, and so like a lot of schools it's like rainy. It's almost like Oregon actually, that it's very rainy there, and there's a lot of trees. And so I know that a lot of people love to live out there just because they feel very relaxed.
And now that you mentioned Oregon, let's talk about this new stage of life where you are already admitted in the Oregon University. And what are your expectations in that field?
Well, I hope that I will be able to like immerse myself as much as I can. I expect to get like a really good career out of it and have like the most fun that I can in my lifetime. Since I'm young, I want to spend like all my good years right now and then like grow old and be able to be like, yeah, like that was so much fun. Like I'm so glad that I made a good impact on the world. I hope that when I go to Oregon, I'll be able to meet new people that have the same interests as me with doing marine biology.
And how's the situation in Oregon? Because I know you visited recently, just to have a sense of the environment and the place.
Yeah, I definitely we got to the university and I thought it was so beautiful. There were so many trees there and it just felt like that like I was actually seeing like a real like part of the earth because I mean in Texas like I said it's just flatlands and just grass like that's dead grass over everywhere. So going to Oregon and like visiting there it kind of like reminded me of how Colorado was. I mean it's obviously a little, like more prettier but it's definitely opened up my eyes to like new opportunities and stuff that I'd be able to live this new life and be able to have like I guess like pushing the restart button or like a start new button and I'll be able to live my life in college meeting people and like just being immersed in nature.
You come from a multicultural background. Your father is from the United States and your mother is from Honduras. How this double family setting has helped you to become more aware of the global connections?
Well, so my mom used to be an AFS, and so she traveled all around the world, and she's always told me about her stories about going to Switzerland and like going to Argentina and just being able to experience her part of the world. Like I want to almost follow in her footsteps, being able to travel and just experience my view on the world. And so having her being very open-minded about every topic and stuff, that definitely helped me become very open-minded. And then having my dad from the US, he brought his like traditions and customs to me. So I had like Honduras and customs from the US. So, and we kind of just put them together. So,
and you also have the opportunity to visit your family in Honduras. How was for you traveling for the first time when you were a little bit bigger? Because I know you've been traveling since early childhood, but I don't think you were so aware. When did you started to realize all the benefits of having a double nationality?
so from what I remember is that I kind of remember my life in Honduras when I actually lived there. And so going to school there, like going to a bilingual school, it was definitely like a big culture shock. Just going to a school that I didn't know any Spanish, I only knew English. And everyone else at the school knew basically Spanish, and then they didn't know that much English. So it was definitely hard adjusting to the new lifestyle, but my mom helped me a lot because she's from Honduras, so she helped me with like homework and all of that, and helping me meet new people. And then like we lived on the coast up in Honduras, and that was a lot of fun. We got to go to the beach every weekend, and then we moved towards the mountains in Honduras, and that was where I actually started to learn Spanish and like fully immerse myself in the Honduran culture.
And for you, it was a blessing to be close to the ocean, like, as it is one of your biggest passions. It started there. Do you think that's where your connection with the ocean started?
Yeah, I do. Just because, like, all the time in Honduras, living on the coast, whenever we would have a storm, I would see like all the trash that was out at sea just wash up on the shore, and we would always walk the shoreline right after a storm, and it would just make me so sad seeing like all of this trash that was just left there and it wasn't able to decompose. And so that was when I kind of realized that, oh, I want to make a change in this world. And then like this past couple of years, I learned that marine biology, I can help with that. So
And you also have the opportunity to link your passions with art. You do painting, and I know you're very handy. You do a lot of things with your hands. How do that help you to also be more grounded and centered?
So even though I do like a lot of painting and art, I also do a lot of photography. So doing photography like within my school and just within my outside lifestyle, I can help capture the world in pictures that people have never seen before. And then I hope that taking some of these pictures can just help open up eyes to other people, seeing like, oh, like this is a different part of the world that I've never seen. And like, I want to go see that and I want to go help. And so I think that photography definitely helps me open up my eyes and open up everyone else's eyes.
Okay, let's see if we can get some images that I had from you to, can you see it, Jordan?
It is loading. Yes, there we go.
Okay, can you see the image, right? It's
Yes.
in a right size. Okay, here you are in, I think it's a river, right?
Mm-hmm.
What can you tell me about this photo?
I think that was around like summer of last year. We went to a river in Texas, and that river is one of the best rivers that you could ever go to in Texas, even though it's about 45 minutes away from where we live. We visit there all the time, and so it's definitely like very refreshing to go like to the river and see people actually enjoying nature and just kind of relaxing and going off grid for a bit.
Yeah, I think it's important to share these images and also allow people to understand how important it is to preserve the rivers and the water. What can you tell us about the importance of the water in life, Jordan?
Well, you need water to live, of course. But it's definitely going anywhere that's near the water. It also helps with your health as well, that like it soothes your muscles, like there's water therapy and stuff. And so I think water is like also important that way. And then it's just important for Earth. Like Earth also needs a drink of water. And so having all these rivers and lakes and oceans, it definitely helps Earth stay hydrated.
Mm-hmm. There is an image, can you see it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, tell us about this photo, please.
So this was taken like our first day, I think, in Oregon, our first or second day in Oregon. This is Cape Arago State Park, and they have like tide pools and all kinds of stuff. And so we had driven up to a big lookout, and like it was just huge lookout over the ocean. And then we saw like tide pools. We also saw sea lions there, so I thought that was pretty cool. But that was just kind of when that I realized that Oregon was like the place for me.
Okay, and we can actually see the happiness that this environment is giving you. And I think it would be good to hear from you why it's so important to contemplate nature and celebrate it.
Well, nature helps us like have our own lives as well. That when it rains, that it just kind of helps us take a day to ourselves and just kind of relax. And then when it's sunny, that we are able to just go out and enjoy nature and go to a park, like go to a zoo or something, and enjoy like the animals and trees and just everything.
Okay, where are you here?
I was at Disney World this like last year around this time. My family took a trip to Disney World for May the 4th for Star Wars.
Mm-hmm.
And this was one of the days that we went to Disney Springs, I believe. And we saw this beautiful river, and it was just so pretty that I actually took a really good picture of it. And so I was able to use my photography skills to document that and show everyone that wasn't able to be there, to have them take a step into what I saw.
Very beautiful. Is this one of your photos?
I don't believe so, but I know that I was there with my mom.
Mm-hmm.
So
This is also, is this in Florida or where is this?
I believe it's in Honduras.
In
I'm not.
Honduras. Uh-huh. Okay, but it's amazing. Okay, here's your art.
Yeah, so during COVID, actually, when COVID hit, I got a lot more into my art. And so I was painting pieces like almost every week, and it was just something new, and it was keeping me busy. And so that was when I was able to expand my knowledge on painting and how to paint and like what to paint and stuff. And so COVID definitely helped me bring out my artistic abilities. And each piece I was just creating, I was just so proud because it was just getting better and better as I was practicing. So
here we are.
Yeah, so this is like my little art wall that I have that I did. I believe that the top right one was like my best painting that I ever did. I absolutely love it. I think it kind of reminds me of Honduras. That was what I kind of based it off of. Like being able to see the sunsets almost like every Sunday we would go to the beach and then we'd stay there till sunset, and like the sunsets would just be so beautiful there.
Okay, and all your paintings are evoking and connecting with nature, right? And we can see water in 3 of them. And there is one here with a sunset or the sunrise, sunset?
The sunset.
The sunset, yeah. Okay, let's see.
Yeah, so this picture was when I went and visited the university. I took a picture with the famous duck. Everyone takes a picture there. It's like a tradition. And so when I took that, we drove past it and I was like, oh my gosh, like we have to get a picture. We have to, because it was our last day in Eugene where the university is. And so I was like, I can't leave here without a picture. And so that picture, I actually kind of realized I was like, this is going to be my new life, and like I'm going to love it. So
beautiful. Okay, this is prom or homecoming?
Prom.
The prom.
We actually just had our prom like last weekend, and so we went to a place. It's called Helotes, Texas. It was like a Gardens of Helotes, and so it was almost like a wedding venue. But they had like bridge, and they had a bunch of flowers and trees and benches, and so it was very pretty.
It is, when you look very stunning. Let's see here. This is also one of the photos caught my attention. That is very close to the topic we are covering today. That is unity in diversity. Let's talk about the population demographics of your school and the diversity that exists over there.
Yeah, so actually my school, I've noticed it more and more every year, but we have Muslims, we have African Americans, we have Hispanics, we have Italians, like we have a lot of diversity in my school. And I love going to this school because like every day I see something new that is within someone else's culture. Like I believe yesterday or today that I saw someone that was Muslim and they were having their time alone and praying. And so, and I've never seen that before until I was just walking in the hallways and I turned the corner and I saw her praying, and I was like, wow, like this is very cool. That it's something that you would never see in just a regular school. So I'm very glad that we have a lot of like diversity and then unity in that, that my school provides a safe place for them to say their prayers.
Yeah, and I think it's great to see this, what they call rainbow of people. And how do you actually understand diversity, Jordan?
So what diversity like means to me is just all is one, and it also connects with unity, but diversity just means that like whoever you are, or like whatever race, whatever gender, disability, that like everyone's going to be different, but they're all going to be the same. And so I believe that diversity and unity are just like this, and that they just connect so perfectly, just like perfect puzzle pieces. And so seeing diversity all around my school helps me expand my horizons in the world.
Okay, let's talk about technology. Here you are with your graduation gown.
Yeah, so with technology, it's definitely helped me learn with everything that I wouldn't have applied to university without my laptop and knowing, researching about it all. And then it's also that learning about like world issues, that it's pretty hard to learn about world issues if you don't have like a TV or a phone to actually learn about what is going on in the world. You'd have to wait for the newspaper that would come out the day after that you would learn everything. So I think technology is very important for like our new generation, since this is how we learn now.
Fantastic. So this is the last photo I selected for our conversation. In this case, I know it's not a recent photo, but why I choose this one is the composition first, and the connection with the blue of the sky and the water, the mountains and the forest, and it's your family. Who created this photo shoot?
I think that we were down in Honduras. I'm not quite sure who wanted the photo of probably my mom, but I think I look back on this photo a lot because it's saved with us, and it definitely kind of shows that one of my first trips down to Honduras that I fully remember, and where it was just family, and we had my grandparents there, and then my mom's friend that she came with us, so it was just all of us having like one big great vacation. So.
Ok, bueno, y ahora te voy a pedir que les presentes en español a tu familia.
Sí, bueno, tengo solo un hermano. Él tiene casi 28 años. Mi papá es de América, de Massachusetts, y mi mamá es de Honduras. Y mi mamá es una inspiración para mí porque ella fui para EFS a Switzerland y Argentina y todos. Entonces ella es una inspiración porque yo quiero viajar en todos lados.
Muchísimas gracias, Jordan, por esta presentación. Ahora vamos a regresar a la pantalla y vamos a conversar un poco sobre el GoFundMe campaign that you are actually running. Tell us a little bit about this.
So this GoFundMe is to help me raise some money for my college education. So for our out-of-state tuition, since I live in Texas, it is all the way to Oregon. The out-of-state tuition is very out of reach for my family. So I've been working very hard to get scholarships. I've achieved like 2 scholarships already. And I've applied to like maybe 200, 300 scholarships. I've applied to many. It's been a daily job. And so this GoFundMe is just to help me get some more money for like textbooks, and just like that goes toward my tuition so that I can help like get my career with marine biology.
Please send a message to the people who is at the moment with us in this conversation, and invite them to join your GoFundMe and support you to reach your goals to become a marine biologist.
Yeah, so I mean, anything helps, even if you just press the share button. We just want anyone and everyone to know that what they're donating to is going to be for a great cause, you know, my education, and then for me to pursue a career in marine biology and able to save our reefs and our marine wildlife, and do countless like a bunch of research about our oceans and just how like what else is polluting them instead of just plastic and just like chemicals. So
Jordan, there is a lot of people from your generation who is engaging in meaningful causes in projects that are helping the world to be better. Please tell us, how can the people who doesn't really understand this kind of living and life can be a little bit more empathetic and a little bit more engaged?
Yeah, so like I said earlier, that thinking not just about you, just thinking about like when you're at the store and buying something that's like a plastic water bottle. I know that a lot of people buy like the big cases of plastic water bottles and then they drink them and then they just throw them in the trash. Like it's also one of those things that like I always think, how am I impacting the world? Like, is this going to be a positive or a negative change? And so thinking of it as a positive change, making every positive change that I'm able to, I think that I can help other people like learn from everyone else's mistakes, like from our older generation's mistakes. And so I think that our new generation is just trying to revitalize everything.
How aware are you of the Agenda 2030? There is...
So I believe that when I went down to Honduras, I can't remember like the actual statistics, but it was basically that our reefs are going to be 99% dead. Somewhere around that it was a very high percentage that our reefs were going to be dead by the time it's 2030 because of overfishing, chemicals that boats are dumping in, and just industries are dumping into the ocean and just into our rivers, that it's just killing everything and destroying everything. And then even just what humans are, like human waste, that it's plastic and just technology, that people are sometimes just throw technology into the ocean, and it's like, well, what the heck? Like, it's destroying all of our fish and all of our wildlife. Like, no, don't do that. So definitely having that in mind just definitely opens up your eyes.
Yeah, and I think it's a good opportunity to talk about the Sustainable Development Objects that is actually part of the campaign 2030, where we are calling the society to become more aware and actually more engaged in activities that will make the life of the environment, the life of people, and the life of communities more engaged and a little bit more sustainable. You know, and I think you're doing a great job at that sense, you know, working very hard, not only in the theoretical scheme, but you are doing things in the practical life. You create art, you actually participate in activities that are connecting you to the environment and making it a better place. Jordan, give us a message about unity and diversity and the importance of people connecting.
Yeah, so unity and diversity comes into play when I am in Young Life. So Young Life is like a Christian youth group all around the world, and being in Young Life, I have met so many new people that are like of all kinds of diversities and just all kinds of races, genders, and just literally everyone. And so participating in Young Life, I've done volunteer work within my community. So I've done work crew where I've like taken a month out of my summer and just went and helped serve kids and help them learn about God and help them create a better relationship. And while I was there, I met people from California, I met people from Florida, people from Boston, I met people from all over the United States. And every time I met someone new, we always had some sort of connection, that it was whether we knew someone that lived in Colorado or whether they used to live in Colorado. And so meeting all these new people, it definitely made me realize that the world really is a small place. And as I keep being involved in Young Life, I still meet new people every day, and that I'm just like, wow, like it's a really small world, and that I'm learning about everyone and how everyone's just connected with everything and everyone knows everyone. So
Jordan, thank you so much for your time. We are inviting everybody, you know, to reach the GoFund campaign that Jordan is handling at the moment. You will make a big difference in her life and the life of the people who will benefit from her work when she finishes her career. And as she mentioned, it's not something that will happen in a few years or so, because she's already been engaged on creating a better environment and a better place for her and for the people around her and the new generations. One last message about protecting the environment and the oceans, Jordan.
Help in any way you can, even if it's just like one simple wrapper that you want to throw on the ground because you just like don't want to, you're just too tired after a long day that you just don't want to go to the trash can. Like, it's just one of those things that just do whatever you can, small or little, anything like will make a change.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Jordan. Blessings, and wishing you all the best with your GoFundMe campaign, your studies in Oregon, and your everyday life. Blessings and musical kisses from Thailand. Bye-bye, Jordan.
Bye.